final point of oversight. There is secondary oversight that Parliament exercises, and we are doing that pursuant to the constitution we have, not the constitution that we wished we had. Article 125 gives us the power to compel the appearance of any person before this committee, any person, including the president, who is making allegations of unethical conduct on the part of Parliament. I want to challenge the speakers of the two houses, because they are the ones who chair the Powers and Privileges committees, pursuant to the Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Act. They need to issue a summons to the president, for the president to come and explain who are those people who are demanding bribes, who are those people who are given bribes. Because you cannot try Parliament in a kangaroo court when statute already has clear provisions for dealing with unethical conduct on the part of members of National Assembly or members of the Senate. I think we should move away from this lynching, from this kangaroo court mentality, and challenge our speakers that they must convene the necessary committees and listen to evidence from the president and listen to evidence from anybody else who alleges unethical conduct on the part of members of National Assembly. Those are provisions and instruments available in the Constitution and available in the statute. And the question is, for those who claim that they bring bribes to Parliament, why would you bribe Parliament if you're not guilty, in the event that that was to happen? But even for us to determine the veracity of those allegations, Speaker Wetangula and Speaker Kingi, you are the defenders, you are the heads of this institution. You must now exercise Article 125 and summon the president. That article does not exclude the president. It says any person, Parliament has the power to summon them. Let the president come before a committee of Parliament. Let him repeat the things he has been saying in public rallies, the things he has been saying in other places. Let him bring that evidence so that it is processed in accordance with the law. I think finally, we must be careful with our utterances. There are powerful political players in this country who, when they say things, the people take it almost as common law. We must always refer back to the Constitution. We must respect institutions. Parliament is also an institution that deserves respect. The judiciary is also an institution that deserves respect, and it has made certain proclamations and directions on this issue of oversight. I think what is going to emerge also is that any governor who chooses to go with peer influence will have to carry his own cross, because there are clear provisions in the Constitution and law on contempt of Parliament. And honorable members, we must tighten the penalties and sanctions on contempt of Parliament. We have a fine of 500,000 shillings, which governors find very easy to pay. In fact, we have had governors who have paid it more than twice or thrice in one session. So we must tighten those consequences.
Point of information, Chair, I don't mean to interrupt your flow of thought, but in fact, we in the Senate already passed an amendment to the Powers and Privileges Act to enhance those fines, Honorable Chair. The Senate already enhanced those penalties. Honorable Chair Argei, just allow me to inform the Chair that we passed those enhanced amendments. I remember it was sponsored by Senator Osotsi. I think they are lying somewhere in the National Assembly. And our colleagues in the National Assembly must now do their bit to make sure that that law becomes law. I am not very sure it will be assented to, given the sort of attitude that is coming from the Office of the President. But we feel that as a Senate we have done our part. The National Assembly needs to push that fine. We pushed it to 2 million, you remember. And we even had gone to the extent of suggesting that we need our own police force in the Parliament and a police cell. Because you remember the frustration we had, and in fact it was this committee, with the governor of Nairobi, where if you say you want him arrested and brought before this committee, you depend on the Inspector General of Police, who might not be very willing to execute that order. The Senator Dulo has a problem with the police command in his county. They can't do anything. So you remember we had suggested that we should